Assalamu alaikum, this is Hamza from Car School, and in this video we are going to discuss something really useful. If someone might ask to you what version of PHP are you using, so what will you do? Or someone can also ask this to you, do your PHP support call, or how many hashes do your PHP support? So what do you think, where will you get this all answers? Maybe you are thinking that just head over to google.com and search for the latest software version and finding those packages, and inside there everything will be. So if you are thinking this, so no, because PHP itself offers a really good function for all of this stuff. So let's just open your PHP tags and the closing tags, and inside your PHP tags just type phpinfo and end up this with two small brackets and then line breaks a semicolon. So in every language or other language like JavaScript or C++, function always ends up with two small brackets. We can also call this parentheses, and inside those parentheses our parameter goes whatever we have passed this. So let's just read this for the sake of time and save it, and probably go to your browser and click on refresh, and you will find some really useful information related to your PHP. As you can see, the my PHP version is 5.5.12, and I'm using Windows 8 Business Edition as a system level, and I'm using 32-bit window, means x86. And if I scroll down, you will see as powered by Zen Engine. So if you don't know what Zen Engine is, just go over to the internet and search for Zen Engine. You will find some information regarding the Zen Engine. So now I'm going to give a very short introduction to what Zen Engine is, just so sure. So Zen Engine was developed by two developers, Ziv Swarovski and Andy Goodman. Basically, the Zen Engine is used to interpret the PHP programming language. So this is, and if you want other resources, or just find it on web. And now scroll down and let's come to the configuration part. And as you can see, my Apache version is 2.4.9, and server administrator is admin@assembly.com, something like this. And now scroll down, and you can also see the Apache environment variables, which we will use with the server variable later in this tutorial. And now the HTTP headers information. And so our default HTTP request method is get. So whenever we create a form and we didn't mention the method, or we forgot, so the default request method will be get. So now just scroll down again, and you find and the call support is also enabled, and call information is something like 7.36.0. and now scroll down, and the take time support also enabled, and you can find some information regarding the take time below this. And now click on and you can find and the FTP support is also enabled, file transfer protocol, which we will use to upload our files to a web server. And then the GD library, graphic drawing library, which we will use later in the other tutorials for drawing an image. And now just and you can see the hash functionality is also available in enablement, and you can see how many kinds of different hashes are available in PHP, and like MD2, MD4, MD5, SHA1, SHA224, blah blah blah, and much more. Maybe you are thinking that why we use hash functionality. So we use hash functionality when we have to convert our data into a non-human readable form, whereas someone cannot read it because for security purpose. uh, but don't worry, we will cover this in the login registration tutorial. Now just scroll down and you can see the JSON, JavaScript, object notation, or reliability, and the version is 1.2.1. And now scroll down, and you can see the MySQL support is also enabled, and it should. So yeah, and there, and it should. And you will also, and MySQL I, which is the extension of MySQL, we will make use of this later in later tutorials. So now I'm going to give you a very little demo of a very short demo of a super global underscore server super global variable. We just delete this and echo dollar underscore server and put semicolon in. So this, and I'll go back to your browser and click on refresh, and you will find something very useful. Oops, error to string conversion. And yeah, okay, we are getting this error because we cannot convert array with the help of an echo language construct. So we need to use print underscore r function, print underscore r function instead of the echo, and now delimit it with the small brackets and go back to your browser, click refresh, and you find some useful information regarding your PHP paths and something like your host. Our host is localhost, which we are using in our address bar, and then our file directory. And you can also find your browser, what your browser is. The HTTP user agent can solve this. So my browser is Chrome and version is 46.0, something like that. And you can also find your IP address, and the server, the $server underscore address will find in the IP address for you, find your IP address for you. And my IP address is 127.0.0.1, and the server port is 80, and something you can also find your document root, where we are accessing this file from, and the C colon / www/. So as you know how the $_ server variable work, and you became more familiar with the phpinfo. So if you have any problem related to your PHP code or any something else, so just go to your web browser and click on address bar and type the php.net, and it will be redirected to a PHP community where you will find everything related to PHP, and you can see the what PHP is. PHP is a general purpose scripting language that is expecting suited to web development, and some releases you can find here, and which released. Yeah, and the PHP 7 released on 15 October 2015, and some upcoming conferences related, and the documentation and the downloads get. And now click on search and find whatever you want to, and just like PDO type, and you will get your desired result video. Yeah. So there are other sites too from where you can get help. One of them is Stack Overflow. So if you have any, I have already said the programs, so just go to Stack Overflow and consult with any developers. I show you there are many web developers with good experience in PHP. So just consult with them and discuss your problem, and I hope you understood why we use $server, which is a super global variable. And if you don't, so don't worry, because we are going to use this super global variable in our every aspect of programming. So you must have to watch these videos. So that's it.